Hello and welcome back to another video. Another little bit of a quick restoration. I've got a few minutes and I've had this item many years and I thought it, and I've been collecting parts for it the last few weeks, or even into the last couple of months you might say, and I thought this is a good time. It's pretty horrible weather outside. I can't do much in the garden, and so I thought I'd have a go. I've never done one of these, so it's very much learning by my mistakes. And I'll turn the camera around and give you a better look at what we've got here anyway. So what we've got, I've got a Tilley TL136 table lamp model, which I think dates from about the 1950s. I bought this many years ago, and when I bought it, it looked like that. It was missing its burner unit, it was missing its glass, it's got the vaporizer and the pump and the little control there, but the rest of it was missing. So eventually I didn't know really what to do. I was looking on eBay for another old one, you know, to come on, come up for sale. It was quite low priority, and that they were making, some of these make quite silly money these days really for what they are. And eventually I found a site. I started looking about the internet, as you do, and I found a wonderful site, and I'm no connection with that site, I have to say. It's purely, I found it by chance, and I found it through looking at another YouTube video of somebody restoring a Tilley lamp. That's how I came across it, and it's Tilley Lamps and Stoves, which is run by a very nice chap by the name of Julian Shaw, and he actually reproduces these Tilley burners, has them brand new made in the brass, which obviously I was missing. And he'd also got the glass globes as well, the correct sort of style globe for this, and obviously that slides then onto there. I always need a mantle putting on there as well, and that really finishes it off, I thought. But now the thing is, can we get it working? Now, I've never had a lot of luck with Tilley lamps. Not that I've had many. I did have an old, what I call a standard Tilley lamp. You know, it's like more like the storm lantern that you take outside. So we'll take that bit off for the moment, because this hasn't been used in many years, and hence the pump won't pressure up. And I've got a repair kit for this where there's a whole host of little washers, so I shall see if I can take this to bits. And then we've got to take this control valve off here, and there again I'm not sure how that comes off, or whether it will come off, because I think we've got some more washers and little bits and pieces in there. But I thought we'd start with the pump, and as I say, I don't know how quite this. I think we start by taking, we might be better off with pliers. Shall I zoom in a little bit? This camera doesn't like to focus at all well on things. I hope perhaps you can see that. And then if can I get that off there? Oh yeah, that's gone. That's coming loose anyway. So we'll take that off. Oh, and there's a spring. Oh, right, now we've got to see what this is. A little washer in a cup. Don't know if you can see that. There's a little washer in a cup with a spring. So I've never done one of these before, so I'm going to try and keep it in some sort of order as I take it out. And then I believe, from what my understanding is, without damaging it, I think we've got to take that bit off there. Oh, yep, that's moving. That didn't take a lot of moving again, did it? So let's unscrew this and see what we get out. Oh, crikey, that is a bit gummy. And there is our pump washer on the bottom there, which is held on by that brass screw there. I have got a new one of those, which I must, you generally have to, these are like a leather pump washer, and I've read and looked on other people's YouTube videos, as everybody seems to do, And I have to soak that in some, as they say, any kind of oil, olive oil, any kind of light machine oil would do, 3-in-1 oil type thing. And so I shall go and now and get my repair kit. So I've got my repair kit here in washers, and that's the new one for that goes into that cup there. That's the old. I put the old ones over there. I shan't mix them up. You can feel they're very hard. Gone very hard. That's our new pump end washer there, which I must drop in a drop of oil and soak that. And it looks like then we have a washer around the top here. That bit actually, it's easy when you know how, isn't it? That bit screws off there. I didn't realise that, and obviously that makes taking that off a lot easier. So that's our, which looks very much like that one replacement, doesn't it? That's the new replacement there. So let's put that then. Did that go that way? Let's have a look how this went now. Amazing how quickly you forget when you take things off, isn't it? So that went that way, right? Got it. Into and then down there. Fits on like that. Obviously, it's quite a tight. Being new, it's quite a tight fit. That is, but that'll soon slide over there. There we go. And that brass goes over it, and then that bit goes back down like so. And hopefully, I think you only meant to do all this kind of stuff hand tight. So that's one of the washers back in. A lot of people strip the paint off these because it's brass underneath, but I love the paint, the kind of patinaed paint finish on that, and I've not even cleaned it up yet. So but it's as found, as I'm sure I bought this just the base and the vaporizer from an auction many years ago. I think it was in a box of bits and pieces, to be honest. So I certainly didn't pay a lot of money for it back then. Yeah, I'm sure we're okay there. So while I've got my pump washer soaking in a drop of oil there, I thought I'd have a look at this part of it while that looks well plugged up, doesn't it? I don't think that probably should look like that. I think that's a bit of gauze that we'll probably have to wash out. So right, how does this all come apart? Well, I presume that would probably, there again, without marking it too much, let's see if we can, without, oh, that came undone easily, didn't it? I wasn't expecting that. Take the vaporizer tube, and that doesn't look too bad actually. We might do that with a little bit of very fine wet and dry paper just to get that bit of rust off there. Right, so that's the pricker. So we've got another washer there, I can see, round the base there. So let's see if we can get that out. I presume that just pulls out of there again. There we come. There we go. That has really sort of gone horrible and stuck to the old base there. But it looks like it's going to be that one to me. I think it's just where it's spread out that makes it look not quite so big. Just get that wipe round there. And our pricker should come out. There's our pricker. Try not to drop any bits off here. I'm good at doing that. We can just wipe that in there again. some quite nasty bits of carbon on there that will probably just take off with a bit of very fine. My goodness, for a little thing like this, you wouldn't think you'd get so many bits, would you? Right. Hopefully that's all we need to take off there. Right, so this bit now, what have we got in here? Gracious me. Do you think that bit unscrews out? It looks to me as though this bit might come off again. That bit there would come off with the valve, wouldn't it? Oh, that's there again. Extremely loose it was. We take that out. And do you think that bit comes out the bottom? Well, we can try it. Yes, it does. And that bit breaks off there, like so. And another spring. I wonder if there was meant to be a washer in there. There probably was, and it's gone. Because we've got 3 little washers to fit in somewhere. Another very dirty old spring. And loads of gumph in there. Oh, there's another one. Now, probably should that have had it? Has that got a washer? Yes, that's got a washer in that cup there. Can you see? Very dirty, but it's got a washer in that cup. Will I ever get this back? You wouldn't think a lamp like this would have so many parts, would you? Will I ever remember how this all went? I can see me having to go and study. So coming back, I think I've had a good sort out what is what now. And like I say, I've got the first washer. I'm hoping that's right. On the bottom of the pump there. I will, if I can find them, and I think I can, in text I will put what number Tilley washer that is. So that's the first one. Now coming on to the pump, I've had the little leather washer soaking overnight in some olive oil. Just as I say, I believe any oil will do. Any light oil anyway, I should say. I mean, and then the brass circle goes back on. I assume. No, that's the point. Do you think it goes that away or that away? Oh, I think it goes that away because it looks to me as though that's been where you can see the edge of the. Well, we'll try it that way anyway. And that's that back on there like that. Then there's a kind of a split washer which drops on the floor if you're not careful. Oh dear, it's so easy with this fiddly little stuff, isn't it? I think the idea of that washer is that stops the thing moving about. Or sorry, it will still move. The leather pump cup washer will still move. I've read you should make sure this is quite tight because you don't want that to come off in the tank. And we can try that. I think that's got that on. As I say, there we are. Then that goes down into there, doesn't it? Very gently. Got to get that into there, I think, he says. Which is not as easy as it looks. There we go. There we go. And then that tightens up onto that. Like so. We get a bit of cloth and wipe the oil off there, which we don't really want on that. And then we have our little cup, which I've sort of cleaned out, and then our little flat rubber washer that goes into our cup, like so. Then we have our spring, which is slightly tighter one end, and I believe that goes up to the top. So that goes on like so, and then that has to go back into there, and then that all goes, can you see that? That goes and screws back in to our bottom of our pump like so, and we will just make sure that is not overly tight again. Well, the pump seems to be pumping okay at the moment in time, so that's our pump. I will, probably clean the brass up a little bit more. So then I cleaned this control. I believe it's called a control cock. So we'll screw that bit back on nice and tight. Just there again. I think as it says on all the Tilley instructions, not overly tight. There's our knob, or not, the. So let's put that back on. Right. And now then, we have the bottom with the gauze in, and there again, I think this has another little cup with another little flat washer that drops into the cup. Like so. We in? No, we're not in. Let's turn it round. That's it. There's our little washer into our little cup again. Then we have another spring again, which is sort of kind of conical. So I'm going to put that way round. And then I've got an idea that goes up. No, it probably goes in that end because it fits in that end. And then I assume that tightens down and that screws up like so. There again, we will just, I'm not doing these are over tight at all, as I say. It does say in the Tilley hand in book, the instructions. Well, that does feel a lot better than it did, I have to say, that does feel much better. Then I assume, now, does that have a washer on it, do you think? That goes then into there, but does that have a big washer on it? Like so, I would assume. We can but try that. I assume it would go that way into our So, before we do that, I've cleaned the needle pricker type thingy jobby, and that has to go in there, up there, and then that goes down to there, and then tightens up. Again. So I'm back carrying on with the Tilley table lamp, and I want to point out a few mistakes that I made that perhaps the Tilley experts will pick me up on, quite rightly. First of all, I forgot and omitted a little gland washer that should have gone on that sort of behind. This nut tightens down on it, on that spigot there, and there again, that's a little Tilley washer. They give you two. Tilley do say to put two, but I've read some other people say put one. I thought these older control cock didn't perhaps need it, and I forgot it, and so that's, I put the rubber washer on there. Now the pump, I made several blunders putting the pump black together. First of all, I'd got this little cup piece the wrong way round. That little bit of whether it'll focus on that, that little bit of brass should be protruding out. I'd got it other way round, and there was no little bit of brass protruding out, so the pump wasn't sucking right. So that's another thing. And I've just checked again, and I'm going to take the body off, take the where the pump washer leather cup goes. I think I've done that wrong, and I'll explain. I'll take this off, just undo the nut again. There we go. So there's our split washer and our nut. And what I did was I put the it's got a slightly raised up lip round it. I put it that way, and it should go that way. So that was another blunder which I'm now altering round. Obviously, when you've never done these things before, you know, and you're going very much on your own. So let's put the split washer back on there. That's it. And then I'll put our nut on, which is now fell the wrong way round, but never mind, we'll soon turn that over. And that's it. That leather washer can now move because of the split washer. So that is right. We'll just dry that off and put the pump leather washer back in there. There we go. So that's our leather washer back in there. Hopefully all the right way round now. I just thought I'd point those, you know, if anyone saw what I'd been doing and thought, oh, he's doing that wrong. Hopefully I've not done anything else wrong. So hopefully what I thought I'd do now, I haven't put a mantle on as yet. I thought I'd slide that back on, drop that down, and preheat it, as you have to with a Tilley lamp, as I'm sure you all know, and just see if we can get like what is called a Bunsen flame, if it's going to burn right through there. So I've got my little preheat thing here, soaking in some methylated spirits. And then that's, put the lid on. And then just a matter of lighting that up, and we'll give it a preheat. It's not a good Bunsen flame at all, that isn't, is it? So we'll switch that off and go back to the drawing board, I think. So, let me explain. Let me, once again, light the preheater. I was having no joy with that new top burner unit at all. All I could get was a yellow flame. Couldn't get a good blue Bunsen coming out. So I begin to wonder whether I'd done anything wrong with the pump or the control valve. So yeah, I don't know whether I've done anything wrong with the pump or with the control valve. So I know my friend has got lots of junk in his shed, and lo and behold, he'd got a Tilley top. It had even got an old mantle on it still. So he said, I'm welcome to have this, which is very kind of him. And obviously, this is all, you're seeing it all together, but this has been done over many, many days. So we'll preheat this and see how, if this lights, or what, you know, whether I'm doing something wrong with this burner. I don't know what else I can do with it. As it's a brand new burner. I can go back to Julian Shaw, who I bought it from, and ask his advice, or perhaps utility experts watching this or think, well, you're not doing this right. I mean, it's all, I presume it's all put together right. I've got, you know, as I say, I can just get like a, it's burning very, with a very yellow flame. It doesn't give a good Bunsen blue flame when you try it without a mantle on there. And, you know, it kind of puffs out yellow as well. So we'll give this a preheat, and we're still perhaps not. Oh, there we go. Well, it's flash, you know, it's going bright and, you know, but there doesn't seem to be a lot wrong with that. It's not the best mantle, as I say, but we don't know how long it's been on there. It was lucky it survived. It was on a shelf and in a little box. So, yeah, I think that seems to make me think that my control valve and pump is okay. Well, I think that's a bit of a win. At least it's working. Better than this, you know. Well, it's working, you know. It's so I think the mantle could do with a new mantle, but and it's steadied up now a little bit. It's still going a bit soft and bright, but there again, when you've had not had one of these or had an experience, you don't know quite how much pressure to put in them. And there we go. So I think that's relatively success at last. Well, as always, thanks very much for watching. I think we'll call that a bit of a success. I will pursue onwards with this new burner. I do believe, I do wonder, and as I say, if there's any Tilley experts out there watching this, I wonder if it's my vaporizer giving too much fuel. I have tried this new burner now with a mantle, without a mantle, and I get lots. I mean, I preheated it twice. You know, I've got it really hot, and I still get lots of yellow flame breakthrough coming right round, even when I've got a mantle on it. So there's something amiss. This old burner that I got, you know, I went and nabbed off my friend. Seems to work fine. It gives quite a good light, but as I say, it could be the vaporizer. But that's something to look into in the future. I've got it working, and basically I think it's just quite a nice object to look at, really. I think these table lamps are quite attractive. You know, things of the past, you know, unbelievable that, you know, people had to, before electricity, rely on things like this for their light. But I hope some of you might have found that of interest, and I think that was a bit of a success anyway. And as always, thanks for watching, thanks to the new subscribers, and we'll be back with some more videos in the very near future. Until that point in time, my best wishes, and bye for now.